Hi there, welcome. It's Roger at SwiftCloud. In this very quick video, I'm going to show you the Whirlwind Tour version of how to fill out a contract for somebody and then turn it over to them for them to complete, review the details, and sign. So what this is referring to is our collaboration sessions. Let me show you what I mean. So this contract is for internet service, and it's fairly complex. It's not really designed to be filled out by the consumer, and yet you want the signature by the consumer at the bottom of it. In addition, there's some internal documentation notes here, presumably for the sales partner who's getting sales credit, maybe an agent name. There may be even notes for installation, that kind of thing. Now, this whole system is really designed for any number of industries. Anytime you have a complex application that frequently starts on the phone where somebody has called in, let's say they started filling something out over the phone, and I just start making some notes, be like, okay, this person wants month to month, and let's say they want single, and they want this, or they want that. Notice that the document is smart enough to have some certain controls. So the SwiftCloud has a powerful smart docs system, and it is much more powerful than some of the other legacy e-sign systems that were just trying to replicate paper. So we started in the digital world, and as a result, we can do things that paper never could. So for example, things like date pickers, embedding of documents. You want to embed a driver's license, or you need documentation, or even sort of if-then logic, and you can even have cascading if-then logic, so entire sections can collapse and expand and stuff like that, where it's really a digital experience first. What you need to do in order to use this as a sales rep is incredibly simple. You simply go here, and as soon as you start filling in an email that does not match who you are logged in as, or if you're simply logged out. So in this case, I happen to be logged into SwiftCloud, and so it knows who I am. And as soon as I start using an email that is not my own, then what's going to happen is down here, this field is going to become locked, and it's going to look something like this. You cannot sign for anybody except yourself, right? So we know that the email you have input does not match who we believe that you are. And we also have this green box where we have different roles. And in this green box is where you could add additional roles if you needed to. And so in this case, I'm signing as the client. I have this session sort of just pre-cached just to speed up this demo. So once you do click save down here at the bottom, you click save unsigned, then it's going to reload as what's called a session. That is also going to trigger an email to the client. So the client is going to get an email that looks something like this. And it's basically, notice that we have generated a password for them programmatically, and we've given them what is here a very long, ugly URL. Now know that you can both map a domain or a subdomain to SwiftCloud servers. The actual signature must happen in a digital environment where we can legally guarantee in court, if needed, the content. So it always has to happen on our servers. That said, you can map your domain. It should have your colors, your logo. We just want people to feel like they're in the right place and really reflect your brand. We're not too important, but we have to be able to ready and able to go to court and guarantee the authenticity of the document at any given moment. We take this stuff extremely seriously. Know that this could be mapped to something like, let's say in this case, secure.frontier.com, and this long URL can be shortened down to be SMSable, right? So we will need that to be obviously below 140 characters, and we want it also to be short and easy to say over the phone, in case you're having a phone conversation. So what could happen in the real world, the way this really was built from the ground up to be used, is that you could start filling this out for them, and once you get all the way done, verbally tell them a URL to go to. They type in the password that the system has generated, and basically they can pick up and resume, right? So in this case, notice I have some data here that's already filled out. And that's because I'm picking up the session that I've been using here for just kind of testing for this demo. But that's basically exactly what the person's going to see. So whatever boxes are checked and that kind of thing, it's all going to be here. So that is the most simple version of how to use it. Now, oh, by the way, if you're just setting this up for the first time, there is one important sort of toggle that I need to draw your attention to, and it's right here on the back end of the document. I'm getting ahead of myself, but if you're an existing user, then this is how you allow somebody to save an incomplete form. That in turn creates a session. The session can be resumed at any time. So in the case of, let's say, this document, or let's say it's a mortgage application or something complicated, they have to look up their taxes, then by all means you want to have that down here at the bottom so they can save their status, not lose their work, and then come back and sort of resume it later. SwiftCloud is a true social network. It's important that you understand this, because if you ever needed to modify a contract, let's say there was an error, rather than re-sign a contract, that's one way to do it. But you could also just go dig out the existing contract, make some changes, resend it to the client, and have them change it, right? Or the client could change it on their side. And once a document has been signed, obviously it cannot be changed. So we do have two basic modes. What you're seeing here is when you do know who the person is. We do have a different mode where you're setting up role-based automation. So it could go seller, then buyer, and basically signer number one has to enter the information of signer number two, or number three, or number four, or whatever. You get the idea. So we've got a couple different options. The front end is what we covered, and then we also have options from the back end, and the back end has several different sub options. So it could be from the document back end, it could be from the contact record, it also could be from the workroom. I don't need to go into that much detail. I want to give you just the whirlwind tour and sort of overview of all of this. So in terms of getting started, what you want to do is set up the document. Next, you set up your messages. Next, you want to test it, and then last, you want to integrate it to your actual workflow and sort of treat it like a pilot. If you need this function, then by all means, reach out to us, and let's set it up. Let's do a test pilot, get you happy, and then we can be off to the races. Thanks for your time.